Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Wellsy Weekly Podcast, the show where I talk about anything and everything. And today, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm feeling a little cold today. And when I say a little bit, I mean a really big bit, because I'm in the bottom floor of the house. I'm like basement level floor and my radiator isn't working. So I'm feeling the cold today because it's winter and it's really bloody cold. But I'll push through it, don't you worry, I've got a spare blanket I can wrap myself in. So this week is the return of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'll watch it occasionally. And it got me thinking, living in the Australian outback would be a bit too much for me, but I wonder if I could go a week without the internet. And that's my question for you today. Could you go a week without the internet? If you think you could, let me know down below in the comments, or if you've come from my Facebook page, let us know on there as well. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I'd probably get really bored without the internet. Because I use it a lot more than I think I do. It's like, a lot of times I'll go to sleep listening to meditation music that requires the YouTube and the internet. I listen to the radio a lot. I suppose I could get away without the internet, but I usually listen to it on my laptop, so I'd need it in some capacity. I also listen to Spotify constantly if I'm out on the move, and I could download some songs, but if I hadn't downloaded any before the week, I would have no music to listen to. So that'd be a bit of a stretch for me. And yeah, I do a lot of drawing as well. And I'll use Pinterest to have references up on the screen so I can draw and stuff. And I wouldn't be able to do that without internet. So I think boredom would be a real big struggle for me personally, because I get bored. Don't want to say I get bored easily. It's just if I don't find a task to get deep into or stuck into, then I go a little stir crazy. just a little bit. Not too much, although for a whole week I think I might. So yeah, boredom would be a big issue for me personally. Another way I could battle it though is if I went camping for a week. I feel like I could survive a week of just camping. Maybe like, I don't know, like one of the like silver or gold Duke of Edinburgh trips, you know, where you don't really have your phone, you don't really have music, you just go out and you just go walk about for a bit. And it's nice scenery as well. You know, you're always doing something on a camping trip. Whether it's preparing the food, putting up your tent, putting down your tent, going for a wee in a farmer's field, you know, that kind of thing. So if I was going to do this challenge of just like no internet for a week, I think my strategy would just be plan a camping trip. But if I couldn't do a camping trip, then I'm not sure how I'd be able to cope, to be honest. Maybe I'd do a lot more drawing, or maybe I'd just do a lot more work or uni work, just to like something to distract me, you know what I mean? Another issue, I don't know if this is related to the internet or not, but I do a lot of online shopping just because I can't be bothered to go into town. I mean, I got lost on the way to Primark the other day, and you'd think after living here for about a year and a half I'd know where Primark is, but no, I went to the wrong place. I went to the wrong shopping centre. It's not actually in a shopping centre at all, I just thought it was. So yeah, I got lost in the shopping centre for about 10 minutes. Then I got stressed, so I had a couple of Greggs pasties to calm my nerves, and then I found Primark, so you know. But it all worked out in the end, so that's alright. So yeah, back to online shopping. I do a lot of online shopping, especially at the moment for like Christmas presents and stuff. I've had a lot of like Secret Santas and just buying presents for my family, you know. I've done that all online. But if I didn't have online shopping, or I didn't have the internet, I think I'd really struggle to like find them a present, because I kind of know what to get people. The trouble is, I can't physically find it in a shop per se, unless I went to like some like really retro shops. Or I know what specific shop sells that specific item, but I don't go into town enough to do that, so unfortunately, I do a lot of my shopping online. So I think I might struggle if I was having to buy Christmas presents during this week. But I think one of the biggest issues I'd have if I didn't have the internet is just looking up words when I don't know what the word is. So do you know when you're trying to describe something to someone, and you've got a word in your head, and you know it's a word, but you just can't think of it. It's like on the tip of your tongue, but you can't be bothered to get the big Oxford Dictionary out. So you just Google it, because it's a lot easier. Well, I'd have to struggle with that. I'd struggle with that, to be honest with you, because I'm doing that constantly. It's like I've always got a word or a phrase that's just, I can't seem to get out of my mouth. But I know it's there, I know it exists, my brain just doesn't function sometimes. And that's what I use the internet for a lot of the time, to be honest with you. That and music, so those two things I think I'd struggle with. But everything else, I feel like I could manage a week without the internet. especially without social media. Oh, I'd love it if I didn't have social media for a week, because I'm in that many group chats on like Facebook Messenger and Snapchat, and they just go off constantly, and it drives me up the wall. So having a week off where I don't have to talk to anybody, I know it sounds really bad, but I'd love it, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. So I think I'd be able to live without internet for a week. But would you be able to? Let me know down below in the comments, or if you come from Facebook, type us a little something on there as well. So yeah, I think the internet's great, don't get me wrong, I love the internet, I use it every day, and I think most people do. And it's really good for watching videos and seeing photos of what people have done. Which leads me on to my next topic for today, which is the feel-good topic. And today I want to talk a little bit about just some videos that I've keep seeing popping up, which is people that are colourblind. And they're being given these glasses and they can see colour again. It's a wonderful thing, because you see people just crying or just burst into tears of joy because they can finally see colours, which I think is really nice, to be honest. And it got me really curious of how these glasses work. And I was doing a little bit of research. So the way colour blindness works is we have cells in our eyes, in our retinas, that respond to different colours of light or different wavelengths of light. So if an object emits, I don't know, the wavelength of green, for example, you'll be able to see green. Or if it emits the wavelength of red, you'll be able to see red. But people that are colourblind, their cells don't work or respond properly, so their eyes and their brains just respond differently, so they can't see certain colours essentially. Especially in green and red, that seems like to be a very common colour blindness, especially in men. I think it's 1 in 12 men are colourblind, which is very high. I didn't think it was that high, but that's quite high in my opinion, but it is what it is. So that's how colour blindness works, and that's how people end up colourblind. Their eyes and the cells in their retinas just don't respond properly. And what these glasses do, they essentially filter out the wavelengths of the different coloured lights, so that when it hits the retinas and the cells, they're able to register the wavelengths in the correct way. Now, it's not a perfect science because everybody's eyes are very different and they'll, respond differently. But for the most part, people who are colourblind and put these on, they can see colour. Maybe it's not perfect colour, or maybe it's not the way we see it, like most people see colour, but it seems to brighten up the colours and make them more clear and definitive to the user of the glasses. So I've been seeing these videos of people who've been gifted these glasses, and when they put them on, they're in complete disbelief because they can actually see vivid colours. Some people have never experienced colour. I think there was one video, there was this man who's never been able to see colour. He's been colourblind his entire life. And when he put on the glasses, he could tell the difference between the coloured balloons, and he was in absolute tears of joy, which made it it was really nice to see. And I think it's really good that we're caught to a stage in, the world and in technology where we can solve problems like that. I think that's just really nice. It's really good. It's really good to see. And at the moment where the world's a bit more bleak, it's nice to just see stuff like this and think, there is hope. There is, there's nice stuff in the world. Which is, that just made me feel really good this week. If you've got any videos or anything you want to share that's made you feel good this week, let me know down below in the comments or on Facebook. You're always welcome to put something on there as well. So yeah, I think that's about it from me this week. I'll remind you that the question for this week is, could you survive the week without internet? Let me know your thoughts down below. Or if you've got any feel-good stories that you want to share, you know where to go. But anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed, and as always, enjoy a cuppa.